We are coming to you, getting things going. First point up and going. Welcome. Shot goes up as we come to you in this Bologna invite, elite invite, first point mixed final Guayota Sesquidistus Alti TV broadcast. I'm Steph Rapazzo here today with Ali Thomas. Ali, what do we got here? We're just about 20 seconds into this game. Who's in front of us for the final?
So we have Guayota from Tenerife, Canary Islands, off the west coast of Africa, versus Sesquidistus from France. And the turn will not stand.
Will not stand. Foul. No contest. On the doorstep. Ready to score. Looking to hold on the first one. They do it efficiently with a Monteverde assist to Diaz for the goal. Guayota, all they've done is win thus far this weekend, and they're starting things off on the right foot with a hold.
I will say that that was some pretty heavy defense from Sesquidistus. Guayota not having a lot of options under, having to jack it deep after a couple of seconds. And then again, on the end zone, looking a little bit scrambly, having to kind of jam one through into a tangle of bodies. So not a comfortable hold for Guayota. We'll see how Sesqui can do against this Spanish defense.
We've been all weekend here on the new especially lined for ultimate turf in Bologna at Cusp, and the conditions have been swirly winds every day that increase gradually as the day goes on. Right now they are mild, but they are swirly. Second pull, first chance for Sesqui in their O-line as Monet receives and gives to Ancelin. Ancelin tried to take the inside and then assumes that cut will continue outside, and a hand block there. He thought for one split second, was that still my hand, and realized, nah, you got me. Guayota, quick score, even though it was a little humbly, and now a quick D into the next sequence. Swung across. Ramos puts it up way too high, and Sesqui get it back, and he goes against all the teachings and does swat away rather than catch that D.
Very casual swat too.
Bru. Ancelin. In their own end zone. Heavy pressure, but lots of space for Bru. She doesn't mind hucking it, but holsters. Ancelin well defended, but they get the centering reset. Now Antoine. Oh, and a player slipped. There was space in two places, but the throw goes down. Now they're discussing about a foul away from the play. Shouldn't matter.
Well, there's always the argument that can be made, would she have had other options had certain players not stopped, but turnover will stand here.
Didn't matter in the end. Guayota pushing for the break. Gonzalez gets it away late. Navasa, there's three of them on this team. That one shot to end zone. A bit of contact after the drop and a injury there. Monet went down in audible pain, has grabbed his left shoulder, and will let them tend to him on the field, but there was a good bit of contact, as you see again there.
Quite a bump there. But it looks like Sesqui will have the disc.
So the turnover stands. He got the D. He put his body on the line. On slam with the disc. Bru, upliner. Can she get there? Defense comes in. There's a poach upfield. She's gone the other way, but not enough mustard on that one. And swatted to the ground.
Yeah, I think the wind, as has happened with so many games this weekend, wreaking a little bit of havoc with throwers' intentions, and Guayota absolutely capitalizing.
Cristina Navasa, one of the three sisters, two twins and one elder. Underneath cut from Rovira. Ramos, oh, and throws it to the defense, gives a second chance, keeps that up miraculously. Oh, Bru helped her out there.
Certainly did.
Gil, improbable. Gets the D, and it was like a perfect fluttery mac. There it is again.
I mean, she still had to put her body on the line for it, but what dedication.
Indeed, great to see it. Of course, we expect it here at the Elite Invite in Bologna en Slane. Centers to Tessier. Defense was almost sniffing towards it. Patito, up line. Chenet engages, goes around to Ancelin. Quick to Tessier. Tessier to end zone. He got the right angle on it. He's got the eye for the goal there, does Tessier on the assist as Petito cashes in for Sesky, but...
Couple double biceps on display.
Looks like a pick. Did it affect is the obvious ensuing conversation.
The age-old question.
It's a lovely throw, but it will not count. Disc is in. Ancelin. Waiting for developments, takes the dump to Antoine and gets it straight back on the move. Breaks or tried to, but holsters back to Antoine on the open side. Fighting forward for meters. That one would have been stuffed in and instead goes back around to Ancelin. Look to wind up a hammer, but goes inside break fake and dumps to Tessier. Tessier gives and goes. And Tessier gets it back, coming back the other way. And Tessier throws for goal again. Bru gets up and takes it. And they're on the board. It's one apiece. Good looking O there. I mean, heavy pressure deep, but O stayed steady and seemed to always be in control.
That's a lot more hesitation that I've seen from Sesquidistus so far this tournament. Their end zone offense has been incredibly fast. They've got that acceleration over short distances. But here, we saw a lot of breaks holstered before that shot finally went up to Bru. So we can see after that break went, there we go, the round break finally goes, but we had a lot of round fakes, a lot of inside fakes to players that did have a certain amount of separation, but credit to Guayota's really strong marking or forcing there, making life very hard for the French end zone offense.
One apiece, early days, mixed final, Bologna, Elite Invite, the land of gelato. Teams from Tenerife and Strasbourg, France. Here come Guayota. Albardiras. Go, that one hangs, help defense.
Oof.
Came for a sniff and there was heavy contact there.
Oh.
Gabaldoni and Lefrançois knock each other off their off kilter respectively.
I think Lefrancois tried to catch up there despite there not being a call, which is technically not within the letter of the rules, was motioned back.
Galbodini. Monteverde, Gabaldini. Doni, rather. Dotta. Oh, he did go for it, and he still gets away with it because it's a beautiful throw. Gabaldoni to end zone. The cut comes back from their import player, Kmekova, who is had spent some time in Tenerife. Is that right? And that's why she's playing with them. She doesn't live there. Martina.
I'll take your word on that.
I think that was part of a discussion I was privy to this morning. Nice goal.
Oh, yes, so she lives in mainland Spain, in Lanzarote,
Ah.
I believe. Or was that?
No, that was number 31.
No, that was Nina, you're right.
Alvar Diaz.
We'll see.
Anyway we go. Alvar Diaz with the assist. Kmekova with the goal. Alvar Diaz with the hockey assist. Gaël Ancelin to Monet. So Monet back on the field after holding his shoulder going off earlier. Good to see. Gwen Tessier, strong take in front of the cameras. Lots of space in front of him. Now Monet moves. Upline comes. And a little thought of a poach should open something else up. But well covered up towards the end zone by Guayota. Patito back to Ancelin. Disc is in. Ancelin fires to the corner. Monet there unmarked. Help defense come, and they go back to Patito the other way. Patito arcs one to Ancelin. He settles under, collects the goal, and Sesqui responds.
That goal would have happened a lot sooner were it not for the defensive efforts of Yaitha Ramos. She did some excellent work in that point, kind of peeling off from the stack, and didn't get the poach block the first time, but the second time she did prevent that score any earlier. So really well done by her. I believe this is not the point we've just seen. Sorry, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with our replays at the moment. But the live is still live.
Live is live. Will be sorted out in due time. The score is 2-2 currently. All tied up. 4 pulls, 4 holds. Second point had a couple turnovers in it.
Just a couple. 6.
Gabaldoni to Dotta. That's the way many of their offensive sets begin. As Monteverde comes under. Betancourt. And now one of the Navasas. That's Tricia. That one shot deep. Defense way too good a position. And Patito takes everything the other way. Oh, Kofi gets down. John Kofi photography. Wishes he had a shot of his own layout there.
What an incredible bid.
Keeps it alive coming to center. René. Too many people to the same spot. Now he puts up a haymaker. That one could be for anyone, but the defense says we'll take it away.
2 spectacular layouts, 1 on O, 1 on D. Things are really starting to hot up here in this mixed final. As is the weather, slowly getting warmer.
Heating up just a little bit. Frigid Bologna conditions. And a giveaway. Bruce says, I'm just going to pick that one up right away, see if there's anything available. Covered up quite well, and then gets the dump to Kofi. Long jumps as far as he can, but not quite in. And Sesky sniffing a break here. Crew directs traffic. And the around break right off the wrist and dropped. Carla Eller can't hang on.
You hate to see it, you know, perfectly out in front, but maybe just a little bit too much zip for Ella to keep it in her paw.
Gabaldoni, Dota. Monteverde. Monteverde wants Gabaldoni and he gets some contact on the mark. Gets around the break. Guayota moving it well up and around midfield, and now they're about to cross. Gil to Navasa. Abalderas can't get there.
In similar fashion to the Sesky turnover, just one-handed catch, a little bit too much mustard on it, and a timeout will be called by Bru, not even picking the disc up, just signaling the tee.
Timeout called.
We are back, and hello to all of our viewers here on the Ulti.tv YouTube channel. Do subscribe if you haven't done so already. That means you have access to the chat. You can cheer on our team. We do read the chat. Do tell us where you're watching from. We've got a couple of people from France and cheering on Sesky, obviously, and then some Guayota fans as well. Thank you all for tuning in.
And of course, the regions of these two places, Sesky with disc in hand from the Alsace region, city of Strasbourg, known for many cheesy delights.
And whiny delights too.
Whiny, consumable wonders of the world. John Kofi gets the under. Forwarded, wagon through, sends it upfield, gets the completion. Michon to Kofi. Rene. End zone here Defense tightening up. Kofi takes a step and gets it in the middle of the field. Gets the out and around. There's space there. Brew on the open side. Defense caught sleeping, and Sesky get a break.
It looked like the Guayota defense was leaving Kofi unmarked for a lot of that point, or trying to poach off that dump, which Sesky just took such advantage of by taking the open pass, or as Kofi did, striking up the line. He had both his defender trailing him and the mark coming off to try and get the block, but the throw was such he was still able to get it. And then one of those dangerous, speedy, open side cuts from Brew that Sesky have been executing so well all weekend gives us Sesky 3, Guayota 2.
Of course, one of my favorite dishes from the Alsace is the tarte flambée, or as it's known by its more Germanic name, the flamencouche. And it's, have you had a flamencouche or a tarte flambée?
I think I have. I think I have.
Delicious. We can talk more about that later.
You'll have to tell us more about some of your favorite recipes as well.
I will have to tell a little bit about that. As Guayota gets started, upfield, 2 passes in, they're looking good as Gonzalez resets to center. Diaz winds up backhand, he's been doing that a lot. Deep in the back of the end zone if it stays in. It seems like it does. Yes, signaled goal by the opposition, and Guayota score on a...
Well, if it's worth doing quickly. As soon as the disc left Sergio Diaz's hands, he was just stood rooted to the spot, watching it intently to make sure it would come back in, and or rather stay in, and stay in it did. We'll see here the big wind up. It's floating, hanging, perfectly weighted and well towed in. You can see him looking to Lefrançois for confirmation. I think he was so focused on keeping the disc in his hands that he wasn't looking at his feet, which is of course the way you should do it. Catch the disc first and then make sure you're in, otherwise you will bobble it and not score. So after a Sesky break, Guayota not humbled, continuing to strike with ferocity.
3 apiece. Sesky by a break. Bologna. Elite invite. Money. To Tessier. Tessier zips one upfield, having himself a game. Chenet. Antoine. Tessier looks one way, goes the other. Great leading throw by Antoine. Power position. Tessier lets one fly. Receiver there. Help defense come. Makes him go up early and cannot hang on. Maybe there's a call. I actually thought she was going to call injury, but she was fixing her ponytail.
We'll see this again, see if there's any contact. It looks like they're close, but I'm not sure.
That's clean.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he felt her coming there, but that was grazing contact.
Potentially an intimidee from the joint efforts of Kmekova and Monteverde.
Guayota. Monteverde. Gets the under.
Ooh.
Continuation, Bettencourt. Player down, injury.
That was a pretty full-on bid, I think, and she staggered and fell quite hard on that ankle, trying to get the D.
Hope that she'll be able to resume play later in the game. For now, that is Celine Antoine. They want me to play, so I will. There we go. I'm in the game. I get a touch. I'm going to get an assist on the next goal because of that. Betancourt, I think so too. Shot inside. In again. Ramos. Betancourt back to Ramos. Winds up. Puts it away. Now looking to center, looking all over, engaging this way and that. Monteverde gets the disc. Open side is there. Kmekova comes down with it. Still not in. Rainbow, other side of the field. And that one's for the take-in. Marrero puts the score on for Guayota to take a lead.
Absolutely beautiful throw and no hesitation whatsoever from Kmekova. Visionary throw, seeing past the stack, past all the players to find that opening and then just floating one out beautifully. We'll see it here again. She takes the disc and then just immediately all across the side to the other end, other end of the end zone. And Guayota have broken back. So we've had a Sesky break, immediately followed by a Guayota break. Let's see how the Guayota fans in the chat are reacting to that. Oh, thanks, Julian. Monteverde, not Monteverde.
And we've got it spelled wrong. We're reading what we've got, but we will correct. Monteverde. Monet with the disc to Ancelin. Ancelin. Monet goes up line, not enough space, and Ancelin goes around. Lassay. Monet gives the big backhand. Prue can't take it high. Marked. Drops to the ground in front of Patito.
And this is a pivotal moment for Guayota. Another break would put them 2 points ahead of Sesky and give them a chance to extend a lead just taken.
Gabaldoni to the line, initiates. Navasa, Patricia catches and gives to Diaz. He catches up and loses some balance on his way down, but had a whole mid on it and couldn't get there.
What a valiant effort. Just, as you say, he had it, almost had it, 95% there, but just the spin too much maybe, or a fraction of a second mistimed on the layout. You could see how annoyed he was with himself, clapping his hands in frustration as he picked himself up.
Sesky. Would love to take their break back. Monet to Ancelin. Oh, that one far in front, but Patito can get there. And does. Oh, and him and Gwen totally miss. Tessier cut deep. The pass went in. They're trying to recover positions. Finally do. And the easy throw comes just as the defense get there. Miscue by Sesky. Guayota take advantage.
That is an absolutely heartbreaking miscommunication. He thought he was coming under, and he was, but then just the throw came as he's already turned to go deep. And Guayota capitalize. They now lead Sesky 5-3, and Sesky need to sharpen up, or this game is going to run away from them. So plenty of space in the end zone. Just sneaks one through on the open side. And that is the bookends, I believe, for Gil.
the Guayota crew still have a qualifier national championship to represent, to have the right to represent Spain in the EUCF, upcoming EUCF. And their men's open team are going to WCC, of which every one of the men on this team will be on that rendition.
I can't imagine the Frisbee community in Tenerife is particularly large.
No, I can't imagine neither. But you never know. I've seen big Frisbee communities in the strangest of places.
Let's look at Carrier Island.
Yes. Carrier Island, a lovely physical location. Patito.
Foul immediately uncontested.
Patito, Monet, but the round efficiently taken away, but they pay for it as Ancelin gets free up line. Now Ancelin all the way around, Patito. Oh, the defense closes it down well, but second step, he gets free, Patito again. Ancelin's on the move, and the throw is right there. Now on the doorstep, far corner, dumps to Monet. Spins, shakes, and gets it in the corner. Ancelin wanted to do that one by himself.
But he needed a little bit of help from Monet to get it in the end zone. Unfortunately, you cannot throw and catch the disc to yourself. But there was some incredible dump defense there, or dump switching from Guayota. It's the classic strike up the line from the opposition, so the mark steps off, switches, makes it, you know, instead of yelling strike, just take the player as they go up the line. But despite their best efforts, that is a jammy little score from Sesqui. They are still with Guayota. They are not giving up. There is still plenty of this game left to play.
Oh yeah, 1-goal lead, early game. There hasn't been a run. There's been a couple breaks. Oh no, there's been one run.
A small run, a little jog maybe.
Run. Score break break is a run. Hold break, that's a run. As small of a run as hold up, they say. Something wasn't right. Potential offside.
I think they were checking the gender, just making sure they had 4 female matching players on the line.
Who sends the pull? I was practicing the pronunciation of with her earlier in the weekend. Diaz sends deep. Navasa underneath, gets it in, protects herself well. One step till the fence, but manages it with grace as she did the catch.
Those long shots from Guayota are beautiful, and Sesqui, there've been a couple of them now, and it seems like they're still not trying to really shut them down and force Guayota under. So another quick point for Sesqui. Sorry, Guayota.
They're coming from all over, but that Diaz backhand is something that I would be taking note of as much as possible in the opposing circle, and whoever's on him, anything but backhand huck.
It's one of, see, look at this chase down, absolutely amazing. It's one of those backhand hucks that is so clearly telegraphed that you almost feel annoyed as a mark for not being able to stop it, because the wind-up is so big and kind of takes a little while. But sometimes it's just like that. You can see it coming and there's nothing you can do.
Martina Kmekova with the pull, and Ayden's push-ups. Sorry, we'll just keep playing. That goes to the brick,
I mean, a heck of a lot of distance on it.
Yes.
But
there's some power behind it, but that one turned wrong.
She's got very long limbs to get those lever forces.
Gaël Ancelin, World Games member of the French national team, gets things going. Chenet Patito. Ancelin engages, goes straight back the other way, gets it again, but put in front. He'll be there first. Comes down with it and fires towards the front corner. Not quite in. Lassalle with the disc. Ancelin wants it, he's gonna get it, and he could be in, he is. Goal for Sesky. Offense looked good, went through the handlers. Ancelin is really putting his mark on this game, putting his team on his back to some end and demanding the disc, and I mean, that worked for them then.
It certainly did. And up until that that last, I mean, he's just broken his defender's ankles there, kind of jiving from one side to another and eventually choosing to just storm up the line. Defender can't keep up. But that was a really beautiful kind of fluid point from Sesky, taking easy unders, gaining a lot of yards each time. You know, it's not as quick and efficient as just hucking it deep, but there wasn't a lot of kind of ticky-tacky getting the momentum going, as we know they can do. We've seen a lot of throw and goes, but just very textbook, beautiful offense.
New event on the calendar, this elite invite. I was wondering, we got the 3 shiny trophies in front of us, and the invitation is based on EUCF qualification, but I was inquiring with tournament directors, does this year's champion get an automatic invite because they got to return the trophy? I'd say that should happen. And if I say it, that's got to be right. Gabaldoni with the disc. Higher-ish stall count, but gets it off Ramos. Dota. Dota goes big, help defense is there. And the throw's just not on for Gabaldoni.
I think that was a bit of a misread. Perhaps he was a bit distracted by Lefrançois, and maybe even expecting that Lefrançois would be able to get there, and didn't adjust himself in time to account for him not getting it.
Talked himself out of it looking at the defense. Brute winds up and she gives. And that is one heck. Oh, I thought it was one heck of a huck. Great distance on that backhand, but a bit too much float. Defense caught up.
It was a heck of a huck, but it was also a heck of a D. So look at this arm from Bru. There she goes. But great shift.
2 in front there for Guayota, in fact.
Great shift from Rivera to get there in time and make up the yards.
Gabaldoni underneath. Rivera. Rivera goes across. Navasa. You have to be specific with them. That was Patricia. Wind up there by Ramos. Dorta. Upliner Diaz. Gabaldoni. Gabaldoni winds up and gives to Ramos. Ramos. Gabaldoni staying very near the disc. Gets it again. Gabaldoni pops in and not quite in, has a little bit of a walk. And back in play by Albadiras. And Albadiras with the goal.
She had 2 Sesky players on her and manages to beat them both to the open side. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
It must be the paradisical free-flowing life out there in the Canary Isles that had her feeling pressure-free.
Fine and fancy free. Canary Islands famed for their white and black volcanic sand, as they have a volcano there which is still sometimes active.
So we see the now famous Monterde Monteverde with the disc ready to pull. Monterde to pull.
Guayota fans saying they're going to start calling him Monteverde.
He's gonna love me for that. Anslen, Patito. Patito jacks it. Tessier there on the chase. So is the defense too far in front for either. That would have been a Monterde Monteverde layout if we got a play.
Great speed from Monterde, managing to actually get out in front and kind of box Tessier out of being able to make a bid on that throw, had he been considering it.
Navasa Carolina with the disc. And her sister, Patricia, comes under screaming for it. And she gets it. Monterde goes around. Gonzalez back and forth. Merero. Everybody clears out. Monterde gets the under Gil. Mekova. Navasa. Underneath, Gonzalez gets it with Anslen backpacking. Merero, Monterde, that's low, but Mekova picks it up, but not after it touched the ground first.
Yeah, Monterde knew he was the first one to signal it down. I think Mekova wasn't quite sure that Monterde was.
So this tournament, we've talked about the women's division a bunch, and it could get flipped on its head right now, because Jinx is now beating Valkyria, who's beaten everybody. So our last game could quite possibly mean something if we get a triangle in what would be second place going into it. For now, Sesky with the disc. Oh, Tessier, beautiful cut, shakes his man, gets the upline space. Anslen comes in, but the defense hadn't moved. He goes wide the other way to take advantage of the poach, and Patito makes a play for him. And Sesky bring it back to within one.
That's a Sesky break, and in gorgeous fashion. I was really hoping for a hammer, considering the field position, and it looks like Sesky are going to call a timeout to maybe come up with a formula and a recipe for a plan of their own.
I bet you I know what the plan of their own is. Keep the 7 players on the field that were just there and give them a break.
Yep, keep that fire burning, keep it going. Speaking of recipes.
Speaking of recipes, I did go back home last Christmas. I had a few months off, and my mother and I decided we were going to make a cookbook. My mom's always had this stash of recipes from the old country that she's carried with her, pen to paper, some little filings. I've used her recipes in 2 of my business endeavors, and so we came up. We worked hard for 2 months cooking, and then for like the next 8 months editing, getting it done, finding a publisher, and having ourselves published. So go check it out. Mama's Italian Classics. Mama's M-A-M-M-A-S. The Rapazzo family authors, and you can find that on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, book depositories, and yeah, we'd love your support, of course. But more than anything, it was a wonderful project, a great way to connect with my mother on a different level after being so nomadic for years. It was nice.
Touching base.
We're in Bologna, elite invite, and it's such a great city to eat in, so much food. And if you like eating, I've got another treat for you. Why don't you go on Mama's Italian Classics, on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, on any book depository. Check it out, grab yourself a copy, make yourself some nice food at home. The author and his mother did a fantastic job together. Go give it a try. shameless self-promotion there, but very proud of it indeed. We'd love your support. It was a great project. Back to this game, 7-6. Seski just hasn't gone away all weekend. They have probably had the tougher run, the tougher semi, more close games that they've had to win. And I think there's something about that that is like battle hardening. I always find like the team that had to fight to get to the final is always better suited to play the final. And that could be the case here. If they've been in this don't go away position all weekend long, they could be quite comfortable playing from behind in the first half.
Provided that you've rested and recovered, you've had enough chance to mentally recover and physically recover, because fighting a tough game takes its toll both on the body and the mind, having to stay that focused for that long. But these are elite teams, they know how to recover.
Paquetes from Madrid cheering on the now infamous Monteverde.
Leave a like if you'd like us to interview Monteverde at halftime.
Gabaldoni. Betancourt, Diaz, watch out for that backhand. He goes center, Gabaldoni. Gabaldoni to Dorta, who comes under. Gabaldoni, Kofi wanted a layout, but not enough. Diaz, Gabaldoni. Oh, if that one ever scored, two of them could have had it. She let it pass and said, here, you can take that goal. Why don't you, Albadiras?
Yeah, Anslal just stood there looking into the end zone after that score. I think wishing that he could turn back time, have that moment back again. But it's beautiful flowing offense, and Kofi is biting on that inside and off balance, so the round goes. And that is Guayota taking half.
So Jinx Valkyria, the last update we had is 4-1 Jinx. So we'll see if we get another update, but for now, that would mess up the whole, or would actually make it better, right? Valkyria gone undefeated. If they stayed undefeated, of course, they win the tournament. Jinx lost in their first game, but have not lost since. They've got stronger and better on the heels of a very talented team over there. Anna Garner, a constant standout for them. And then Box and Yaka were the other two who had kind of lost to each other. One beat Jinx, one lost to Jinx. So if Jinx now wins here, and that means Valkyria, Jinx, Box, and Yaka will all have one loss. Then it's going to go down to point differential, and what seemed to be an inevitable Valkyria coronation is now going to turn into a potential four-team point differential assessment.
A four-way tie.
It can't be that they all have one loss. It must be all, because Yaka must have lost twice. They lost to Kuz and Bologna. Bologna, Jinx, and Valkyria were at that stage.
They lost to Kuz and Bologna.
Kuz and Valkyria.
Yes.
They lost to. They haven't played. No, they haven't played Kuz. That's later today.
Yeah. So So everything is riding on that. So that would put Yaka out of the running for second. Kuz only have one loss to Valkyria so far.
Right.
So I think, I'm not sure Box is in this.
The Box is not.
Box is not in this, no. So
Box and Bristol have both lost to everybody except one to each other.
So if Valkyria beat Jinx, then everything is riding on this last women's game over who gets second. If Jinx beat Valkyria, then it gets a little bit more complicated, and we will bring you the updates as we as we have them.
We see here in the chat, Yaka lost to Jinx and Valkyria. So this would be a third loss for them. They're out of the hunt, really. But could make things interesting for the others.
We've got Monkey, Grenoble, who have turned up on the sideline to cheer on their fellow country people, their fellow French, with a little bit of a chant. They're enjoying the sun. They may have already had a game, or they may have one later today. Lower down in the bracket.
8-6, Sesky receiving. Aslan Monet. Aslan gets it. Now Monet, and they get it moving behind the disc before they get a free upfield throw. That was almost unfreed by the oncoming defense, but Lassalle hangs on. Monet. Aslan takes a couple meters. Patito. He goes to Aslan, help defense, but he's got it best read, takes it high with 2 hands. And Sesky bring it back to within 1.
How about that catch from Carla Ella under intense pressure going over her head, but she manages to read it even though she's looking straight up at it, gets both hands safely on it, and then some incredible speed on display from both Petiton and Ancelin. And Ancelin reads it well, boxes well, just a masterclass in reading here. They brought their library cards today, did Sesky. So 8-7, not a lot separating these two teams at the moment.
Not a lot at all. The extra cheese on a flamencouche is all that's separating these.
Kirsch, Flamenkirsch.
Flamenkirsch. It's not a flamencouche. That was a couche.
Flamenkuchen.
Your pronunciation surely would be better than whatever I could come up with. Torta. Stall 80 says. Jacks it to Gabaldoni. They get away with it. Shot to goal. That one counts. Merero there. And Guayota, easy score to go the other way.
And it's Michon this time who is pounding the ground in frustration that he didn't get a hand to it despite his best efforts. And then the momentum of Guayota, marks not able to be put on in time, mean they get their relatively easy crossfield swing. I believe that's the last point, but it was a good read, so why not see it again? So 9-7 Guayota maintaining their lead. We've had nothing but trade since 3-5. Guayota staying in front.
Sesky desperate for that break.
Sesky desperate.
Monet. Aslan. A lot of shaking and baking before that one goes all the way around to Monet. Slen, nice crafty pass by Monet, but heavy pressure. And a nice upfield gainer there to Lasai. She sends Di Patito. Shot for goal, Onslin there, that one counts. Seski.
And that's a combination that we have seen before already in this game. Putito on the sideline, Anslao charging up the line, and a little space throw just there for him to run onto. Guayota not able to catch up as Gil gives him a little high five there. But that defense from Guayota, especially on the dump, is formidable. There's having to be, you know, a lot of dancing around and throws put out into space for the Seski dump to run onto because there's nothing open. You have to throw them open, which of course good throwers can do, but Guayota making life very, very difficult for Seski at the moment.
And that's why they maintain their lead, 9-8. Been slightly on the stronger, but as we said, Seski, no stranger to playing these type of games this weekend. Gabaldoni. Ramos. Torta. Upliners, the Navasa sisters, back and forth, and Ramos. Torta, we've got a zone by Seski.
First zone look.
Donny points at two receivers.
Our first zone look from either of these teams.
Ramos, big around, that's the right throw to Gabaldoni. Diaz, space in the middle, Gabaldoni, space in the middle, and the defense resets. Ramos, Gabaldoni. Ramos and Gabaldoni chipping away at precious real estate in this red zone. Now Gabaldoni through. Goes the around Dorta on the doorstep. He throws it in, and that cashes it in. Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady is absolutely right. Great patience from Guayota's handler set there. Very happy to swing it horizontally using the width very nicely. Just getting little gainers until eventually, if you keep moving forward, you're going to get it past the end zone line eventually.
So there's Ulti-TV chat of the off-the-books match. Clapham failed to make the finals, which was a shock. Wall City with the win. But Davide and La Fota needed to play Clapham so bad, especially a chance to be able to beat Clapham. We know how much Davide loves that. I think he lives for that. All of his ultimate efforts are just for the days that he can say, that time I beat Clapham. And today's probably going to be one of those days for them as they're up 8-2 and just have been a much stronger team all weekend long.
Well, it is also worth mentioning that the Clapham team here is essentially Clapham's D-lines, as quite a number of their offensive players are off doing World Games things. So I think Will Rowledge, Justin Ford, Ashley Yo, Ben Funk, Tom Abrams.
It's also worth mentioning that they've been down by 8 points or 7 points before and have won games at this tournament. And it's also worth mentioning they're Clapham. Tessier. To Onslin. Onslin goes big and across. Monet with the disc. Monet up and over to Brut. Brut engages Monet. Now goes around to Onslin. Straight in for the goal, and it works nice and easy themselves. Chenet with the goal.
seems like Seski are becoming more comfortable with this intense dump pressure from Guayota. They've had a couple of practice shots now of these space throws for the likes of Ancelin to run onto, and then they're very comfortable outside the end zone as always. They know exactly what they practice. They know how to draw it up. You've got Bru here, easy swing to Ancelin, and then the perfectly timed continuation from Gwendoline Chenet there.
You see the Ancelin celebration, fist pump in the replay there. He's had 4 of those assists today already, and twice he's caught goals. So of their 9 goals, he's had a hand in 6 of them. I'd say he's having some impact on this game.
He is our current stat leader at the moment, and by a country mile too.
The more balanced list on the other side, Guayota. Sergio Diaz, as we mentioned, those big backhands, he's got away with 3 assists, and he would be leading the stat column. 3 goals, in fact. His backhands aren't worth cashing in, and still doing it with his hands. Here we are, Gabaldoni. Firmly planted pivot, but ugly over the top pass to break on the inside with a high release backhand did not work at all. Bru centers. Saint-Jean. De Francois. Saint-Jean. Bru. Saint-Jean went, but reset the space, and that one has all sorts of space for Eller. And we've got even scores on either side of the board. It's 10 apiece, all tied up. Seski with a big break.
Credit to the Seski ladies there, running the show outside the end zone. Saint-Jean and Bru and Ella all working together to get that disc in the end zone, and it looks as though there may be a timeout called by Guayota. Just trying to maybe pump the brakes on what could well be a bit of a run, but there's a discussion here with Ancelin. So a timeout will indeed be called.
We will take a timeout with them and be back to you when the action comes back.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
our work
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Apparently not, but this time at least both teams messed up. So.
Good luck. Thank you for the info.
So we've just received the information from Seski that there was a little bit of confusion with ratio rule A. So it was meant to be 4 male matching players on that last point, but instead both teams fielded 4 female matching players. So at least there wasn't a mismatch. However, for anybody who was watching at home who noticed this and was confused, they are now going to play 4 men, and then they're going to make up basically make up the gender differences.
2 in a row the next one.
Yeah, it's the words I was searching for.
And so I asked Gaël and Slen, when are you guys messing up the gender ratio? Didn't you guys learn your lesson in Guillaume? Of course, he was part of that French GB final that was a spectacular show with a bizarre finish. Here comes the big shot. Diaz does it with a forehand. Oh, it was well boxed out, but ran out of speed. A little bit of contact. She said, did I foul you? Nah, I just couldn't get there. And that was fair.
So just a little bit too much hot sauce, a little bit too much mustard on that from Diaz. So Sesky with a chance to take the lead, which would be for the first time in this game since it was 3-2 all those points ago.
So they've been hanging around and hanging around, and they've suddenly got a chance to take a lead in this game whilst we're in double digit scoring. Kofi comes screaming under in his USA branded Tokais. Sends to René. Oh, and on his feet and straight through his wrists. Guayota with a chance to pick up, and Gabaldoni says, hang on, leave that for me, set up the attack. I got first throw. Gabaldoni to Dorta. Disc. Kvekova goes deep. Double defense, steps in front. René with the bid. And Sesky getting a chance back. Well, we'll get to see one more thing immediately here. What throws he got in his bag of tricks after thinking about it, slowly walking that line, comes out with a hammer, but it's a hammer on the ground, and his hat throw is better than his frisbee throw.
Conservation of greatness. Great throw from the knees, incredible layout block, and then the hammer to bring us back.
Anticipation for that. Up line, Gabaldoni, Dorta with the bid from behind Lefrancois. What a play.
I think Sesky had whatever it is that fuels layout Ds for breakfast this morning. Just wow. Look at this here. Full extension under the arm gets the block.
Twisted his body a bit there to get the left arm under. I thought he would have went right arm was closer, but an interesting twist made the play. And René's got his hat back.
Needs it.
There comes the under. Oh, but that one right through the hands. And Guayota, Diaz, 1 meter, and that one is in. Albar Diaz with another goal. And Sesky just giving away opportunities there. René doesn't even want high fives right now. He is frustrated.
As well he might be. He had some great plays, and Sesky a golden opportunity to take the lead, but instead it is the Tenerifeans who have the lead at the moment, 11-10.
Tenerifeans?
I don't know. Someone in the chat correct me. I don't know what the adjective is. Oh, look at that cheeky offhand backhand. Everybody, this is just the swag point. Everybody wanted to throw something cool.
(11-10). Guayota lets them level it up and take their lead back with the hold, late game hold. 70 minutes into this one.
Still plenty of time. Games are 90 minutes.
Nice pull by Ramos, collected by Brou. Ancen to Tessier. with Is No Good blood in his veins, now playing with Sesquidistus. Ancelin rips it, Petito. Oh, he gets the help on the Mac. Catch your D's. Don't make them turn into assists. And Petito and Seski with the goal.
That looked like it actually made it an easier catch for Petito. That is heartbreaking for Guayota, but a very efficient, if not squeaky clean, hold for Seski is exactly what they need right now.
And the Dinerfeños did not like that one. That's what we call somebody from Tenerife. Dinerfeños. But Seski looking magnificent and getting a little lucky bounce to go with it. Staying in it, 4 1s on the scoreboard, 11 apiece.
We'll see that big shot go up again and just gives it a little bit more air.
I think he would have had a chance at it either way. If he didn't touch it, he could have gone to ground, but the defender really just made that easy for him.
Little fun fact for you, of course, all the what was it again? Dinerfeños in the chat already know this, but Guayota is a deity in the Guanche mythology from the people of Tenerife.
Gabaldoni, Dorta, back to Gabaldoni. Cuts coming. Navasa, Mekova. Oh, the unders there. The defense is there. Monterde contests. Calls foul, rather. And no contest is called. They both have a good long think about it. Laverdure came in. Here's another look. We're already back into play. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm not sure. There was very little contact, but we'd have to have another look. But they've resolved it, so it doesn't matter.
Just had a violation call, some people moving before the disc was tapped in.
Monterde, the famous man right in front of our cameras. Mekova. All the way across to Ramos. Sorry, that is Navasa to Gabaldoni. Nice stall count, gets it to Monterde. Albardias. Pick call, double bicep, flex by Rene.
It does seem like the Seski defenders are now pushing the Guayota players under, wary of those deep shots.
Shot deep, other side of the end zone. She looked away for a second, but recovers, does Navasa. Patricia Navasa for the goal on the arcing rainbow from Dota.
As a defender, there are 2 things you can try and take away, but not 3. Generally, it is the open side under. That break side is just too much for you to try and cover at once without surrendering the open side, and there is not much you can do when a shot goes up that far over to the break side. We'll see this cut again. Throw goes up into space, and nary a defender able to get there in time. So we are trading it out here in this mixed final. Last 2 holds have been clean. And the way things are going, we might be in for a, I mean, I know we've still got a few points to go to get there, but we might be in for a universe situation. Canarians. Call them the Canarians. I like that.
Seski, Monet. And that jacked right away. Patito is under it. Goes up and tip only. Misread. Please report to the office. That one off by an inch. But jumping between the two defenders put him off.
And he could potentially have had a second piece of that, but decisively boshed onto the floor by Diaz, who puts it into play immediately.
Guayota faked the big shot. Rovira jams it deep. Defense in front, but well read. Gil goes the other way for the goal. Guayota get that one, and Yeros cashes in, and they get away with a big to propel up by 2 again.
This looks like it is putting a damper on any French hopes of being able to catch up with this lead that Guayota have had since half-time. Sesqui have not been able to get ahead of the Canarians here. However, they are being cheered on from the sideline. We'll see this great read again under pressure from the big Ancelin. And then Aneros in space after her defender not able to catch up after that big look. So shouts of let's go Sesqui from the Monkey Grenoble players on the sideline. We're out enjoying some sun. Here in Bologna.
All set up for a big finish. Sesqui desperate for a hold. Ancelin. Great around throw, gets Tessier wide open on the break side. Tessier centers middle, Patito up line to Monet. Monet has a look, takes the look, it's a wide open look, but right over the head. She can't get up high enough to hang on to that, and it goes away from the Alsace side.
Another heartbreaking overthrow from Sesquidistus, is just handing these opportunities to Guayota on a platter, and Guayota are saying yes please and motioning to the waiter to see if they can order more.
Lasai was on the receiving end of that, but it was a throwing error that went too high, cut a bit of wind, put it out of reach. Guayota now can make this a sticky situation for Sesqui if they score. Merero up line, Gonzalez wanted to put it early, good defense on the mark, and Patito, how did he not touch that? I'm not sure, but it's still in play for Guayota. Kvekova goes, Monet is coming, but Navasa hangs on, squeezes it into the corner, and Guayota push ahead by 3 late in the game.
I mean, flow one way and then a heartbreaking turn, and then the flow goes right back the other way like the tide going in and out. And Guayota are now 1 point away from being crowned the inaugural champions of the Bologna Elite Invite Tournament.
It would take a 4-point run, 4-0 run for Sesqui and nothing short. Otherwise, this championship belongs to Guayota. And as we've said a million times, it's the best thing about Ultimate is you must score that last point. It's up to Sesqui to extend this game, and the first step in that is a hold. Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. And credit to Carolina Navassa for holding on to that disc with her eyes and her hands despite a charging Monet coming through in her field of vision. It's like 4 men is being signaled. We've got some hand signals just to make sure we don't have any confusion like earlier. So it looks like Saint-Jean will come off the pitch to be replaced by Petitot.
Big point. Gabaldoni already coming over to check out the trophy case. He thinks he's already got it won. His team needs a break. Sesqui can hold. Monet goes to Tessier. Gwen Tessier gets the upline cut from Monet and feeds him. Patito wide open. Help defense comes off. There's got to be a poach. Gwen Tessier comes under. Tessier gets the underneath pass. And that one skied in. Ancelin goes around the defender that was charging into his chest, who initiated that contest. He catches it nonetheless.
Onslaught hugging the disc to his
Here's
chest.
another look.
Yes, it looks like Gonzalez had the momentum going in towards Onslaught.
Ancelin didn't foul him. Gonzalez was blind, still not seeing the disc, just running in the direction of Ancelin. Ancelin went up and read the disc and took the contact, even though his hands went forward, looking like it was into the contact. I believe the contact was initiated by the defender. Here's another look.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the defender could even argue here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not looking at the disc, and Ancelin
Had position.
saw it, took position, read the disc, went back towards the disc. If Gonzalez was making a defensive play, he had to be going up, not forward, and it's a goal, and it should be.
I couldn't agree more. So, one hold for Guayota, or the first of what would have to be several breaks for Sesquidistus. Deliberately annoying, that name.
Yeah, I think they deliberately made that name to provide tongue-twisting commentary.
Sesquidistus.
Sesqui, of course, the easy way around the tongue twister. Shorten it. So, 3 breaks in a row. Are we gonna see it? It starts with 1. But they already got the hold. They got the right to try and break. They're gonna have to keep the defense on the field if they have any chance at it. And is there another? There is another gender change last minute. La Verdure joins the charge.
Monkey Grenoble chanting defense on the sideline, trying to hype up their French compatriots.
Pook as well. They've got 2 French teams on the sideline cheering on. Gabaldoni, he was just looking at the trophies, wondering if those were already his. Now he's back out there, and it's in his hand whether it happens. Monterde comes under. Deep cut goes. It's out for Diaz. He's going to get it. That's for sure. Defense catches up. Dump pass to Dorta. Dorta, championship bells are ringing in his ears. Gabaldoni goes forward. Navasa, 1 throw away, or is it? Is it, I say, or not? Gabaldoni for the championship. Guayota take the first ever elite invite with a hold there and have a championship for Tenerife.
And well done to both teams. We certainly saw a mighty battle take place here between the French and the Canarians. We will be bringing you more action here on the RDTV YouTube channel. Coming up next, we have not the women's final, but a deciding match. I don't know if we have the result of the Jinx game as of yet, the Jinx Valkyria game, but we will let you know as soon as we do. Yaka versus Shout coming up next, and then we have the much awaited open final later on after lunch, Wall City versus La Fotta. So don't go anywhere, we will be back soon.
We'll keep you all posted with scores, updates. We also have our off-schedule game that people would like to know about, the Clapham La Fota warm-up match that's happening now. We'll have that information for you. And we can't wait to just keep bringing you these next two finals. The presentations are coming up next. We may have some highlights of those for you to share. And for Ali Thomas, I've been Steph Rabazzo on Alti TV. Thanks for joining us for this mixed final. We will be back with that women's game very soon.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello? Test. Test. Hello?
All right, everyone, with the spirit circle coming to an end, let's make the prize ceremony for the mixed division for the women's game starts. We have on finishing 8th is this connection. 7th place, Pete. 6th place, Leftovers. 5th place, Monkey. 4th place, Ketchup. 3rd place, Spoon Örebro. Runner-up with a great entertaining final, Sesquidistus. For the spirit prize, we have Monkey from Grenoble. Come get your spirit prize, come get your spirit prize. And the first winner of the Elite Invite 2022 is Guayota. Thank you for the great games. Have a safe trip home and see you at Maietta.
TV.